Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, good morning, depending where you are. It's noon where I am. So today we're going to talk about the calendar integrations, about the plugins we just developed for popular calendar platforms. Just half a minute and I will start. People are still connecting. We have enabled the recording for this webinar. The recording will be available after the meeting. We will publish it on our YouTube channel, so you will miss nothing. Okay, so it's time to start. I hope you can see the slides. I hope you can see me well. I hope you can hear me well as well. My name is Lev. I'm a marketing director at TrueConf. Today I'm going to tell you about the latest add-ins and plugins we have developed for popular calendars. Calendars are important part of our everyday life, and for such integrations we dedicate the separate team which now works for plugins. I will tell about them today. We're going to invest more time and efforts to support more interactions and to continue to provide updates for those plugins. So this is not a one-time deal for us. So we're going to provide updates and new features for the plugins integrations in the future. So we just started, and it is the right time to tell you what we have at the moment with the plugins integrations. So if you have any questions, feel free to interrupt me and ask questions. Rodolphe, hello, nice to see you. We have prepared a couple of demos during this webinar. It will take half an hour, and I think it's time to start, so let's go. First of all, why we would need a corporate calendar platform for meeting scheduling. It has two reasons. The first reason is that the planner, the platform we have inside our applications for meeting scheduling, doesn't know anything about other events an employee might have in its corporate calendar. It could be vacations, it could be days off, it could be offline meetings, it could be meetings outside of the office. We don't know nothing about them, but they are always tracked in the corporate calendar. While in our calendar, in TrueConf applications, we only have a calendar for meetings, for video conferences. So it is important to see whether the colleagues you would like to invite to your meetings are available at the specific time and at specific day. That's why corporate calendars offers us the special mode which allow us to select the most appropriate date and time for the set of colleagues, because we are able to see through the corporate calendar system, Exchange or Thunderbird or some others, or it could be a Google Calendar as well, corporate subscription, of course, not a regular one. So they allow us to see the blocked periods of time of our colleagues, so we could select the specific date and time which is okay for the participants of the conference or of the meeting. So we select the right time and we minimize the declines and we minimize the chances that someone will not be able to join a specific date and time. Another reason why we develop such plugins is that there are some customs, some traditions to create meetings through the Outlook, through the Thunderbird, through other mail client applications, not through TrueConf. Because traditionally, video conferences are usually planned in advance. People don't create conferences on the go, which is called ad hoc. While we continue to promote this way, it is very efficient and it is more flexible way to create meetings on the go. We still need calendar plugins to create meetings when we want participants from remote organizations to join them, or we have a meeting which is quite important and we would like to make the organization process more formal, more organized. That's why we create a meeting in the calendar application. To achieve these goals, we created the two plugins at the moment. The one for Microsoft Outlook, which is the most popular platform, which is usually connected with Exchange server, and the second one for Thunderbird, which can be connected to any mail server. So let's start with Outlook. I will slide. I will go through the slides. So the part number one, Microsoft Outlook. Microsoft Outlook ecosystem is quite complicated, especially when we talk about large organizations where we have thousands of users and special Microsoft solutions called Exchange and Active Directory, which connects all those infrastructure together. So we fully support those infrastructures by creating two types of plugins. Now we have the standard version, which is actually a web-based and the new approach from the Microsoft. And we also offer the extended version, which is more versatile, has more features, but it is not web-based. It is deployed as a separate installation file. Standard version has some advantages compared to extended version, and vice versa. Extended version also has some advantages. So let's start with the standard one. Standard version, first of all, is available through Microsoft App Store. It is a place where you can find and install into your Outlook mail application any add-ins from the cloud. So we are officially listed as the official add-in for Microsoft Outlook. So you can type TrueConf in the search bar in the add-in marketplace to find our add-in and install it to your Outlook application, which is in many cases not the right approach, because in the corporate infrastructure, administrators, IT professionals, they'd like to take control of that process and deploy the extension to all of their employees. For that, we have a special instructions, special guides in our knowledge base, which help administrators to use Microsoft Exchange services to massively deploy our Outlook add-in to the Outlook applications of your users. It could be 1,000 users or 10,000 users, doesn't matter. So it is fully automated, and we provide special manifest file for that. While standard version is fully functional, it has still some differences compared to the extended version. Extended version is the special installer file. It is based on the previous technology populated by Microsoft, which is called COM plugins. It is a binary file which is only suitable for Windows installation, while standard version is suitable for Mac, for web-based Outlook application, and of course for Windows. Extended version, which is based on the COM architecture, is only compatible with Windows machines. But in many cases, it is not an issue, because organizations and companies who are running Exchange Server, they don't use Linux, and they have the fewer number of macOS applications. So we can recommend to use extended COM-based version for most of your users, and for Mac users, we could recommend to install our add-in through the App Store of the Outlook. Another big difference between those two versions is that there is no built-in Exchange tool for deployment of this plugin, extended plugin, to the Outlook applications. When we talk about extended version, we offer you a special package which is called .msi, so the regular MSI package, which is a Microsoft way to ship binary files with extensive settings for deployment. So it is also possible to use not Exchange tools, but Active Directory tools to massively deploy MSI file. So it is also possible to install our extended version of our Outlook plugin to all desktops and computers of your employees using Active Directory tools for MSI deployment. We are using the same set of tools for massive deployment of TrueConf applications, so the same can be applied for our Outlook plugin as well. So if you have thousands of users or hundreds of users, it is not a problem. So you can deploy our plugins, either extended version or standard version, automatically. We have some questions. I will come back to the questions once we finish with the Outlook part of this webinar. So let's proceed. The differences in interface are very, very minor. Almost none of them actually exist. So the standard version is a web-based, and it is rendered as a part of the dialog of the new event of the email you create, while extended version is an old approach, and it is appeared as a separate window. So standard version is displayed inside the new event, new email window, while extended version is floats somewhere nearby. Otherwise, they are almost the same. However, I'd like to point to one important difference. The standard version can only create virtual rooms due to Microsoft limitations, which limits our communications capabilities between the interface of the Outlook, new email dialog, and our plugin. We are not able to read the specific date and time selected in the event. So we are not able to pass through this information to our server to create a conference with specific date and time and specific time zone. That's why when you are using the standard version, the web-based from the marketplace, it always creates virtual rooms, which is always available. However, don't worry, we have built-in tools in TrueConf server, which helps you to track such conferences, filter them, and delete them either manually or automatically, so it won't create the endless list of thousands abandoned virtual rooms. So all virtual rooms created by plugins, mail plugins, are tracked and could be automatically removed once they're not used for some period of time. Let's say if the virtual room is not used for more than 1 month or 1 week, or it was created by Outlook plugin, it could be automatically removed. Don't worry. While extended version, which is based on Com plugin, is allowing us to read the information about the name of the conference, about the selected date and time, and some other things. So it is possible to create a regular scheduled conference on TrueConf server using the extended version. So our recommendation is to install the extended version using MSI plugin. This is important to understand. This is not something we limit your experience. This is something is limited by the whole architecture of web-based plugins of Microsoft Outlook. So how does it look like? So basically, if we imagine we're using the extended plugin, that means that you have to select the participants you would like to speak with, the date and time of the event. After that, you need to press a TrueConf button in the window for the new email or event, and we will display you the settings for this conference. It could be the selection of the type of the conference. Should it be public or should it be private, only available for authenticated users? Should we record this meeting? Should we put participants into the waiting room when they join? So there are some settings which I'm sure you're very familiar with if you used our scheduler before. However, we can leave them alone and don't touch anything because we have pre-selected defaults. So you can just click a create button and the template of your email will be populated with the information and link to the created meeting. But most importantly, we maintain the synchronization. So if you change the information about your event in the Outlook, it will be automatically synchronized to the TrueConf server, but not vice versa, only one direction from Outlook to our server. We are not able to communicate from your client application to your Outlook application. That's not possible, unfortunately. That means, so for example, if you selected the wrong time, you can update time in the Outlook, change the list of participants. After that, you have to click a special update button in our plugin, and we will automatically synchronize all your changes to TrueConf server. However, if you try to do the opposite, if you try to change the settings of the conference created from the Outlook on TrueConf server scheduler on other side, in our application, not in Outlook, unfortunately, we will not be able to pass this information to your Outlook application or Exchange server. This is not possible, unfortunately. So if you create a meeting initially using Outlook, please use Outlook to edit it, not our server instead. So let's have a demo. I will ask my colleague Ivan. Ivan, please step up to the podium and share your screen. I will stop sharing the slides. Ivan will show us how can we create a new meeting. Let's start from with the standard version with web-based plugin first. So this is the page where you can install our plugins. It is located on the website. Ivan, could you please show the web page you just displayed in a minute before? A web page for the plugin files. Yes. So if you go to the download section of our website, we have a special section on our website integrations, corporate calendar. Here it is. This is where when you can download the latest version of our Thunderbird and Outlook plugins. Both standard and extended versions are available here. So you can select which one suits you best. So Microsoft Store goes to the standard version, while installation file MSI package goes to the extended one. So let's proceed to the Outlook. One will now create the new event. It looks like new email, and we will use the regular standard plugin. You can see it is rendered on the right part of the email dialog. So we have to create, we have to select the type of the conference. So let's make it public. So we are not sure that authenticated users will join. So we would like to be sure that people who are not authenticated on TrueConf will be able to join the meeting. So we have to select the type. By default, we select smart meeting. That means the layout is automatically populated by participants, or you can select some other modes like all on screen or moderated role-based conference. Role-based conference is type of the conference we're having right now, where I'm a speaker and Ivan is a speaker, while all other participants are listeners. We can select the pin code and some other settings. So all we have to do is just click on the new meeting button, and all the information about this meeting will go inside we have to fill out the name first. Yeah. So once we fill the name, this is important for standard-based plugin. For extended, it is not important. We automatically populate the information about our just created meetings on TrueConf server side in the email. So you can see the link, conference ID. You can customize this template. We will show you later how. So it is fully customizable by administrator of TrueConf server, this template. Ivan, could you please show the meeting you just created in TrueConf application?
Yes, of course.
So we go to the built-in scheduler in our application, and because we just use the standard plugin, it is displayed in the virtual rooms, not regular conferences. So the meeting 2, which was just created by Ivan, is located here. So if we delete it from the Outlook or change its settings in the Outlook, it will be automatically updated here. So we maintain the synchronization, but only one-way synchronization. So if Ivan just deleted and change the settings of the conference, it will be deleted here as well. We have to go back to the settings, so you see no more such virtual rooms is presented here. And the second way to create a meeting is to use the Com plugin. So let's demonstrate this. Another button, new conference. So the Com plugin, the extended version, is displayed as an additional window, but functionally, in terms of features, it is absolutely the same. Please next. Click on next. So you can see the interface is very similar. However, there is one difference. The extended version fully supports the external identity providers. So if you are using ADFS or Keycloak for single sign-on for your users, the extended version fully supports this approach, while standard version will do also support it, but in the next version, not at the moment. We can maintain the connection between the extended plugin you are seeing on the screen right now and the settings selected for the event on the Outlook side. So if Ivan will change date and time or select it in the Outlook, we will be able to read them and deliver. Ivan, could you please move your video window?
Yes.
So the date and time we just selected will be passed to the TrueConf server. So once we create this meeting, just let's create one. Please make a name meeting 3, not 2. So we can open and close plugin any moment, no problem. We will read and synchronize all settings automatically.
Yeah, yes.
Okay, let's click on create. That's it. So the email is populated. And if we go to the scheduled conferences, regular conferences, which are not virtual rooms, we can see that we just created the meeting free with specific start time and end time. And if we change the date and time in the Outlook, it will be automatically updated here as well. But this is not a virtual room. So once this conference ends, it ends. It is not possible to access it before and after the time you selected here. So please pay attention to that. So, however, you can create a virtual room as well. So when you click settings for the meeting, you can change the type of the conference. And yeah, it is 2nd of November today. Okay. By the way, we are not able to create an event on TrueConf server for the time which is past. So it is TrueConf server limitation, not possible to create events for the past time. So we can change settings and create a virtual room from extended plugin as well. So it is also possible. So, okay, Ivan, thank you for this demonstration. Let's proceed further.
Okay.
So now we have some questions. So let me check the questions. Thank you, Ivan. Just a moment. Recording will be available. Mm-hmm. I hope my microphone is fully enabled. Yeah, I have the sensitivity in very high levels. It should be fine. Okay, no questions so far. So let's proceed with the slides. The next part is about Thunderbird. Thunderbird is also quite popular. It is open source application. And the best part of our plugin for Thunderbird, yes, thank you, Roman, is that it is fully cross-platform. So you can use the same extension file. By the way, in Microsoft ecosystem, the plugin is called add-in. In Thunderbird, Mozilla ecosystem, it is called extension. So Mozilla extension is a cross-platform. So you can use the same extension file across many different operating systems supported by Mozilla Thunderbird. So it could be many different versions of Linux, Mac, Windows, whatever is compatible with this application. So it is fully cross-platform. That's important because it is not possible to install our plugins, our add-ins for the Microsoft Outlook on Linux. Unfortunately, it is not possible only for a web version of Microsoft Outlook, not for standalone version. The interface for the Thunderbird version is quite similar, while the interface of the new event of the calendar is a little bit different because it is a different mail application, different calendar application. Our plugin interface is the same. First of all, we have to authenticate, like in Outlook plugin, while after the authentication, everything is absolutely the same. By the way, we can use the domain authentication using technologies called NTLM or Kerberos for authentication for our users in Active Directory domain. It could be Windows users or Linux users using Kerberos, doesn't matter. And later, very soon, in December, we will provide support for ADFS and key cloak authentication. So if you're using heavily single sign-on, so right now only domain authentication is possible using NTLM and Kerberos, while full two-factor authentication and single sign-on through third-party and identity providers will be available for this plugin a little bit later. But for most cases, for most of our customers, this is more than enough. While the interface is the same, so we click a button, we select default settings and proceed, or we can change the default settings and create a meeting. The installation is also pretty straightforward, but here we have one big downside of the installation process compared to Microsoft way. There is no automation for massive deployment, so it is not possible to automatically install this add-in for thousands of machines of your users. So you have to write the article, the guide, how your users could install this plugin from extension file. Usually you have to open the settings of Microsoft Thunderbird, proceed to extensions tab, and select a file. There's a special icon behind the clog to select add-on installation from the file. So once you did it, it will be installed for this specific user. There is no way to automate it and automatically install it on many machines. So if you have thousands of users who are using plugin automation for events creation, I hope you are living in the Microsoft ecosystem and you have Outlook. Otherwise, you need to manage it on your own site, and you have to ask your users to follow specific steps in your guide to install this extension manually for every client application. From other points of view, it is absolutely the same. So we can use waiting rooms, we can enable PIN codes, we can change conference modes and types, and decide which privileges has guest users of our meeting, etc. So almost the same. Okay. We also syncing the statuses of the event in Thunderbird and TrueConf server, but again in only one direction. So you can change the information about your event in the Thunderbird calendar. However, you have to go to our plugin and update the information about it. So plugin will post the update information to the server, and the server will receive this and save this information. But if you change the information about the event you created in the Thunderbird from TrueConf server side, those changes will only be applied to TrueConf server. There is no way we can tell from your client application of TrueConf to the Thunderbird application that you changed some event. It is not possible. So only one way editing is available. The same compared to Outlook. The Thunderbird version also supports waiting rooms, so you can put all participants of your conference to the waiting room before you join. So let's have a small demo. Maria, my colleague, will demonstrate this. Maria, please go on.
Hello, everyone. Now I'm going to show you how to create a meeting in Thunderbird Mail application. So I choose the desired date and name our event, for example, board meeting. Now I should put a tick on all-day event because in Thunderbird we can create only virtual meetings. Now I click TrueConf. I have already signed up in the application. That's why I can proceed to creating a conference. I should choose private or public one. Let's choose public conference. Now I can choose the mode and additional settings. As you can see, the functionality is similar to Microsoft Outlook add-in. So we create a meeting and it was successfully created. Let's check in TrueConf client application. So we go there, go to the conference scheduler, and here we should click virtual rooms. Now we can see our board meeting. So here we can add participants, go to the conference page, and so on. Let's try to update the meeting to change some settings. So go back to our event and change the date. We should click Update, and let's check in the client application. So, as you can see, there are updates, and let's delete this conference. And check one more time. So there are no such a conference with the name board meeting. That's why everything was successful.
Maria, thank you for this demonstration. Let's continue with our slides. Thanks again. Okay, so some other things we'd like to highlight for you. First of all, in the latest version of TrueConf server, which is version 5.3, and we just covered it in the previous webinar, we added a special section for the mail plugins. So now on a dedicated page in the control panel of the administrator. We have all the links for all the plugins available. All those links are linked to the latest releases. We also allows you to upload the special manifest file, which is used by the standard version of our Outlook plugin, into your server. This is very important. If we release the new version of the standard plugin, you just need to upload this manifest XML file to your server, and Exchange server will automatically deploy the update to your users' machines. So using these settings, we can help you to distribute the updates and the new versions of the plugin, which is very often updated. We are going to update the plugins every month to the thousands of machines you could have, because this manifest file will be distributed inside your network through TrueConf server, not from our website or somewhere else, which is a secure way to do that. We also added the special settings for templates. So you just seen that when we create a meeting using Mail plugin for TrueConf, we have some basic settings, some basic template, including the link and some words like please follow this link to join the meeting, blah, blah, blah. However, you can create whatever template you want, because now we have in this panel the special template editor, so you can use many different parameters, variables to include into your text. You can change the localization for your language, for example. You can add the special call to link to reach this conference using phone telephony integration or GSM call, dial-in call. You can include, but we do not recommend you to do that, the pin code into the template, because when you include the pin code into the template for the meeting, that actually creates no security at all. So it is the same as the open meeting. So if you would like to protect the meeting by pin code, please deliver the pin code by separate medium using some other way. If you send invitation over email, deliver the pin code in a separate email or over messenger or by following some other procedures, but not inside the application. This is not very secure. So this template is only applied to the events created by the plugin, and it doesn't apply to some other emails we sent out. So we still have many additional templates for SMTP integration, for missed calls, for invitation for the events, whatever. But this template is just for the text populated in the body of event when you create it in Outlook or Thunderbird. This is how it is displayed. The template we just seen is used to populate the body of the message when you create a meeting, and you can fully customize it. So what we're going to release very soon, as I said, we created the dedicated team for mail plugins integration, and actually our efforts are not limited to Thunderbird and Outlook, because in our market and some other markets, we have local players which are competitors to Microsoft, and we are currently have 5 different versions of mail plugins under the development. But for the global market, Outlook and Thunderbird is the most popular choices, of course. So what we're going next is that we're going to add support for the waiting rooms in the standard version of Outlook plugin, which is web-based. After that, by end of this month, we are going to add support for the latest version of Mozilla Thunderbird, because at the moment we are only supporting Thunderbird versions up to 114th, while the latest version, 115th, it was just released 1 month ago, is still not supported yet. So please pay attention to that. But we are going to release the updated version very soon. So most probably you will not notice that. We are also would like to remind you about some other ways our solutions can be easily integrated with the calendars. The following examples are not about automatic syncing, and they can only help you to create the event inside your calendar application, but those examples will not allow you to automatically synchronize the changes from the calendar application back to TrueConf server. This is opposite to the plugins we're developing, because our plugins automatically fully syncing its information, the settings for every meeting with the TrueConf server, while the following ways are just how to add the event without syncing. So first of all, in many places, it is possible to export the information about the event you just created or your user just created into any calendar, because we have special export to calendar button in the personal area of the user. Inside the scheduler, inside the client applications, desktop or mobile, we have add to calendar button on every web page of every meeting. So you have to click there and you will be able to add the information about this event to your Google Calendar. We create a special link for that, or you can download the special ICS file, which is a common standard file for all events, which is called CalDAV file. You can use it to import the information about the event into any third-party calendar. It could be Apple Calendar, or it could be some other calendars you might use, because there are many calendar applications available on the market. It could be, for example, the built-in calendar inside your operating system. It depends on the way you're dealing and using the calendar on your platform. However, once again, once you export the event this way, we will not maintain the synchronization status. Only our plugin can help you to maintain the synchronization. Well, this way is just to add the information about the event into your calendar. We also remind you that it's possible when you create an event in TrueConf client application, you can add a user using his email address. If you add any user using his email or her email address into the meeting, we will send out your server using SMTP integration. We'll send out the invitation email, and this email will have special headers and ICS file attached to it, which will usually by most client applications will be interpreted as an invitation. And most of the client applications, Thunderbird, Outlook, Gmail for sure, they will display you the information. Would you like to add this invitation to a calendar to create such event? So we just remind you that it is possible when you create a meeting, you can just add the email address of the user we'd like to invite into the process of creating of the conference in TrueConf application scheduler. So you don't need to create a meeting, copy its address of the conference address URL and include it, copy and paste it to some invitation. You can add the email of the user you'd like to invite to that meeting right away inside our application, and we will care about everything else and we'll deliver the invitation to him. And the last part is that we do not have different times for the conference start and different times for the calendar event start time. So it is important to understand that we have only single start time. So this is the time when the conference will start, and this is the time when participants will be able to join it. So once we create an event and once you import it into the calendar or create it for the calendar, the actual start of time of the conference is absolutely the same time you see in the calendar. So there is no offset, no grace period that allows some people join before or after. However, and we do this for simplicity. So the start time is just one time. So it is very difficult to get confused because it's just one time for all. However, it is not something new. It was and still available at the moment for conference owner, operators on the server, and TrueConf users are listed as the participants of the conference to join this conference before it starts. So this is how I joined this webinar before all of you joined this conference, because I'm as a conference owner and I can join the conference I created any moment. Even if it is not started yet, I can join it. And other users who was invited to the same conference can also join it right after me, right after the owner. And as an owner inside the conference, I can invite other participants to join it before it actually started. So you can prepare in advance, you can check your camera, your microphone, how you look like, prepare the slide decks, upload the PDF file or PowerPoint file like I did today, and wait for the participants. I'm also would like to remind you that we do support waiting rooms, so you can enable for your conference the waiting room. It could be enabled on the go, not during the conference scheduling. You can enable the waiting room any moment. And that's way all participants will be placed in the waiting room, and you can move, once you're ready, you can move them from the waiting room back to the conference any moment. So it is not an issue if you have the very specific hard time for the conference start. You still be able to join it before to prepare it. We do not limit this. You can join your meeting any moment before it starts. That's it. I'd like to remind you that we have now 2 communities where our technical support team and our product engineers where we can actually help you to solve some typical issues you might have. We have the community in WhatsApp, which is mostly popular outside of our region, and we also have a community in Telegram. In some countries, it is surprisingly popular as well, so you have to choose which one is more convenient for you. So we have our team presented in both communities. So feel free to join our communities to directly interact with our teams. And that's it. Thank you for your time. If you have any questions, it is the right time to ask them about the plugins we just saw. Thank you for the links, Ivan. Okay, no questions so far. We will deliver you the recording. It will be available in the playlist of our webinars on our YouTube channel. You can ask any questions about our products or the plugins we just demonstrated to you through our communities. So we're very open. Feel free to tell us what you think about those new plugins we just developed for you. Thank you for your time. Have a nice day. Please be safe, and hope to see you very soon with our next updates coming in December. Thank you. Goodbye.